See, in the near future, uh, I always have this ideas of restaurants that really, oh, I should not be saying it. People steal my ideas.
No, you're not the first one that's discussed that. I remember I had a
Oh
teacher.
yeah, no, we also discussed that in the past too.
Yeah.
That I really had this idea too. Then yeah, I remember we had this conversation in the past.
Well, I'll throw this out. Not so much as a restaurant, because I have seen those restaurants in China. And if you have a problem, you just tell the person, they'll have a TCM doctor come out. They'll take your pulse, look at your tongue, ask you a few questions, then they'll go to the back and they'll make up the soup for you. And then they'll bring it out, put in front of you, and you're good to go. I did have a teacher back during my school who say that I should at least think about opening up a tea shop at some point, only because it's easier for me to recommend something for them and say, oh, here, take this along with this type of tea. Let me know how you're doing. People would be more open with teas than they would be, I would say, with the granules, especially if the teas taste good.
No, there's a lot of things out there that can taste good
Yeah.
and it's good for you.
Well, you can also make it taste good.
Um, the reason I was thinking of food because my family used to do restaurants.
Mm,
So when I study in the herbs and food, I like how you able to get people to enjoy herbal formulations. There's a way that food bring comforts.
yeah.
Drinking like drinking like a tea, yeah, it's only one part of it. But a lot of people actually have more of those special de-stress hormones in their body when they're eating food. Thanksgiving, Christmas, those experience. A lot of people, well, it's very stressful when you're cooking them, but when you sit down at the table, when you start eating them with families, friends, I believe those combinations, even though you're sick, but if you go to the this place, oh, you have this food with the family. So that's how I believe it's very important for the mental part. So that's why I said, in the future I should open up. But my idea, the restaurant is cost a lot of money to open up. Then because I have to have, I'm thinking special herbs doctors and special chefs, and there's nowhere near around America, of course.
No.
Um, in China, wow. I, I look at a lot of those YouTubers. They travel around to eat food. I'm like, wow, it's amazing because not just because I'm Chinese or Asians, but we real good with artistic artwork. The food that you come out is not just food, it's an art. But you really have to appreciate that these people put their energy to the work. That's what like calligraphy. Some calligraphy, when you look at it, you feel you've been healing yourself because some master they who practice qigong, they when they do the stroke, they actually embedded the energy, the qi, in the painting. I'm not sure if a lot of people agree with me, but for people who do martial arts, they might have some sense to
To put it
of
in
a
a
challenge.
more, yeah, to put it in a more, um, excuse me, maybe for a different culture. And I'll use American, for example, because I had spoken about this once. It's like imagine you're doing something, but the term that we use here is going into the zone. Basically, you become wholeheartedly focused on this one
Yes.
uh, job or this one uh, thing that you're doing, whether it's painting, drawing, working on your car, sports. That's one of the best examples of saying that you're using all your chi for that. You're putting all your effort into it.
So it's like Hilaric trance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say once they get to that point, it feels like they can do amazing things. You'll have basketball players who always make the shot. You'll have baseball players who always hit the ball. You'll have baseball players who always catch the ball. You know, you'll have people who make fantastic art. They'll go, I just started drawing, and then when I was done, I was left with this, and I don't even know how I got there. Yeah, there's a lot of differences in culture because a lot of what Chinese people grow up eating is the type of medicine that we're actually using in the herbal formulas. Being artistic, some herbal formulas can be anywhere between 20 and 25 herbs, and you have to know them inside and out because you don't want any of them interacting the wrong way with each other. You can link up to 3 or 4 formulas together and have it do these wonderful things to help you. But if you put the wrong one in, it's gonna mess everything up.
Hmm. The thing is, because the herbs that we use and it can be poisons, and well, we use heavy metals, and yeah, it's that's why people have to be real careful. I
Yeah.
guess that's why a lot of people use padding herbs now.
Yeah. Small disclaimer, in America, we won't touch heavy metals or poisons here. Most of that
No,
stuff
no
we're
mercury,
not able to get.
no mercuries at all.
No, they're
No
not
rat
really.
poison too.
No, they have some really interesting stuff that they throw in the traditional, and a lot of it's already been proven. It's not really worth what you think anyway.
So we're not advertising for those herbs anymore.
No. I used to make it actually. I might as well say this one since we're already talking about it. My favorite joke that I used to make at the school when everybody was talking about this, there was an alchemy, a specific alchemy where they used gemstones way, way, way back when, because the idea was is if you ate the gemstone, you
Uh-huh.
would pick up the properties of the gem. So everybody's like, oh, that's interesting. I said, yeah. I said, but think about it for a second. Once you swallow the diamond, how are you getting it back? It's got to come out one way. And then when you're done, you got to put it back in again. And it was funny because the teacher said a lot of people died doing it. I'm like, yeah, probably because they didn't sterilize it after it came out. It was funny. He's like, oh, it didn't last very long. I'm like, I'm sure it didn't. A lot of people probably died afterwards.
All get stuck there and it rip your. Wow, some of the gemstones can be rough too. Wow, they really put gemstone in this.
Yeah, they swallowed diamonds and
I think
sapphires,
with gemstones they have
hematite.
a lot of some cultural things too
Yeah,
to it. Superstitious ideas. Just like crystals. People use crystal to healing, so gemstones brought the crystals, like
yeah,
stones. People sometimes think, oh, I need quick energy boost. Let me swallow it. I know people who smoke smart stuff with that. Same thing people who
yeah.
think,
That's
yeah, I
that's
guess that person can afford some gems. Maxa is kind of cheap.
uh
It's just a misknowledge. I guess people back then think real, wow, if I swallow this gem or ruby, I get uh, fire properties or something. This
yeah.
bright color.
That was kind of a big thing. People believing that the property of a certain herb, and let's say it came from an animal,
Yes.
the that would pass along to the formula itself.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time it didn't. And a lot of the time, a lot of people just ended up finding another way of doing it. Once again, something I probably shouldn't talk about here, but excuse me, let's talk tiger bone for a second. So they used to use tiger bones in the Diedajo or Ditdajo, as people
Ah,
know it here. And they believed that because the tiger is strong,
yes.
they would use the bone, they put it in, and the Dajjal would be able to make the bone stronger. Didn't actually work like that. And most people, well, it's kind of hard to find a tiger, but there are plenty of cats on the street. I remember I had the same reaction when my teacher told me about that. He says, there's plenty of things out there that just most people think it does something and it doesn't. That's not what it's used for. One day I want to talk about, or at least a little about the rhino horn, but right now is not actually the best time to do that. That's still a topic that really is bad because of the horrible things that happen with poaching and stuff like that. And
Still,
then
still exists right now. People still uh, greed.
yeah,
We bring
well,
back.
that's what it is. It's I wouldn't be surprised if it's a lot of people with a great amount of money who just want a trophy. And unfortunately, we tend to get the bad rap for it because of what people think rhino horn does. But that's even in our books. That's not what it does. It's very easy to find something that people think it does in most of the other places that are making knockoff medicine. There's there's a lot of cheaper alternatives than what they think that they're using. I know I'm being very vague. It's a topic for another day.
Hmm.
I may even cut this out. I don't know.
Oh, we did go off topics a lot.
Yeah. But
But
again,
it's
there are,
interesting.
yeah, it is. But there's always some new herbs being developed and tested in China, which is very nice because they do find, I don't want to say more efficient, but at least they can find new medicines that may help with certain cancers.
Oh yeah, it's just like modern medicines. One medicine is supposed to treat for something they were thinking for cancer, but then it's good for the heart.
Yeah.
It's very similar with the herb. Back then, people would think, okay, this is the right herbs for this, but actually, this herb is really good for a lot of channels or a lot of properties. Because we can learning. See, one unique things about we as a human being, we have a brain. I hope you guys agree with that.
Well, most people, yeah, everyone has a brain, just most people don't use it to the fullest extent.
So we supposed to be like evolving with the works that we doing. That's why we improve our skills. We should not stick with the same tunnel visions and same styles. I admit that sometimes I just too lazy. I like just keep the same old routine, but really, I try to improve myself with other techniques. I really don't really 100% do a lot of acupuncture. If I can talk to people to
Hmm.
keep their minds, I tend to do that on the side when I have patient who's very upset or nervous. I just talk to them and they tune down and they fall asleep with the acupressure treatments and acupuncture. So there's a lot of things out there that we were supposed to meant to do this, but really, if you look at broader pictures, like wider pictures, and you say, "Oh wow, you can actually use this to do that." It's actually more simpler and safer, easier too. That's why our mind is very complicated and complex, which we can adapt to any situations. That's what my belief. I'm not sure how many people thinks that we should use one thing, but then also think maybe we could use the other that thing to for another purpose.
To build a house, you need a lot of tools. And the difference between a bad house and a good house is how well the person uses it.
Yeah.
If you can't use your tools, you're not going to do a good job. But having more tools, even if it's, even if it's too many tools, you'll always have the right tool for the right job.
Hmm. You definitely have to know how to use the tools.
Well, that too.
Uh, for me, I like, uh, in my house, I like, I have to buy some tools. A lot of things I like to do. I do like to do a lot of carpentry stuff, but I'm like, I have no tools. Well, if I bring a Bible home, I like it's gonna be sitting in my garage because I have no tools.
Yeah.
In contrast to my father-in-law, he got so many tools. Oh, my dad, they could do a lot of things with it. Don't have
That's
time.
when you borrow tools.
Yeah, it's hard
You
to
don't
find
give it
which
back.
tools I. Oh, they know.
Oh, I know. Well, they'd know where it was.
Especially people who love their tools or know how to use it. They know who borrowed them.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? You out, people out there? We always had this like late night.
Yeah. And also, if you want to hear about any other topics, like today we did cancer, I started working on another video related to infertility, but it didn't turn out also well, so I may redo it at some point. I find that in discussing it here makes it a bit more fun and a bit more informative.
Interactions, yeah.
Yeah, the interaction with people make for more interesting times. That's part, and again, as you always mention, that's part of what this little podcast is about. It's for interacting and collaboration.
I also have to mention this to everyone, but we do plan to have special guests to
Yeah,
come. Not just only us too. Kind of boring. We want to bring other things, not just TCMs, but it's like collaborations, ideas, treatments, or even lessons.
but at this point, our subscriber count is a little low. We're waiting for it to get a bit higher
Please,
before we start
please,
bringing people in.
we I still have to tell my families and friends. They had to refer everyone. They
Yeah.
watched one time, they had to refer two times, double the amount.
And this is the time where I have like, comment, subscribe, flow across the screen.
Like.
Yeah, smash the
Oh,
like button, as no one ever wants to hear.
it's just that also we have so busy interacting with other people. My workplace got cut hours, so I can't have some other times.
There you go. You can check for comments on the YouTube page. We haven't had a single one yet, so
Now I have to ask my nephews, tell him to tell two of his friends, each of them tell two of their friends. It's just two. Fine, just one person before each other. I might have to ask them what do they like to hear
yeah.
relate to the herbs or even PT. Well, one of my nephews is a PT, or I could ask the cop too. One of my nephews is a cop too.
Oh, okay.
So what kind of pain they have, so what stress, how we treat them, yeah. All five people.
All
We
good.
have a lot of people we can talk to or get suggestions. One good thing is that yeah, I do know a lot of different people's types, status, careers. Especially for you, Robert, you know a lot of people. Yeah, your kung fu buddies, what they
Yeah.
like.
Not just that, everybody has pain.
Not pain the neck or pain the butt.
Yep, both.
Yeah, I'm surprised that most of the time it's our trapezius muscle here. No matter you are doctors, acupuncturists, IT, teachers, because once we have stress, it's also the neck here. Yeah, I had different variety patients with different skills and professions. They all have the same things in common. If the stress, the neck tensions, tightness, upper back. Some people, you see, if, as a practitioner, we get real good at it. We really don't need the ashi points like, hey, do you feel tender or not? You can literally look at the body and you can say, okay, push it, there go, that's the pain. Some patients say, oh, I have no pain. Are you sure? Yeah, your body's telling me you need treatments over there. It's amazing that how because I treat a lot of back issues. I've seen so many times I can literally see the points of there's spinal process too,
Yeah.
the bumps, and even like the trigger points or tendons, ashi points without impalpate. So I asked one of my coworker who's not experienced. I was like, "Do you see this? I'm teaching you. Do you see the pain there?" She cannot see it.
Hmm.
So we really can. We need to train our eyes. Yeah. I remember when we do the bladder points, we had to. Okay, where's the bump? The hole. Actually, you can really see them. Um, I'm like, oh, maybe it's this. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, but that's to practice a lot of times. You get to learn certain tricks. But especially people with pain, you can see the muscles like a heel. That's too extremes, yeah. Especially the upper back part. So I'm sorry. Next topic, we could talk about skills or techniques,
Yeah, we can.
how the cupping works and stuff.
We should probably say goodbye because we got
Yeah,
less than 2 minutes now. uh
your time.
thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you next time.
All right, please subscribe and click likes if we have likes, thumbs up, no thumbs down, and we'll see you next time.